Hello and welcome to this best of three series between Alrik and Martinius and in the Warhammer League. And be sure to subscribe and like for more games, and let's get into it. Today we have a Norsca versus Greenskins matchup on Bleakspire Labor Camp, which is quite an interesting matchup. I don't know which side would be better favored. I feel like both sides can actually play this. It all depends on the people. As we already saw in the first game of Opal versus Chimba, it kind of went okay for the Goblin Tide or for the Orc Tide. But let's see the armies. So this is just a standard Norscan Ice Trolls, Marauders, Spearmen, some javelins to poke at any type of mass from the Greenskins, and just standard Marauder Bearmen and Marauder Berserkers. All alongside, of course, Wulfric with his lore of boats, but we don't actually see a caster yet from the side of Alrik, which is interesting. Yeah, just Seafang as normal. When it comes to the Greenskins, we see an Orc Shaman with Earwigo and Fist of Gork. That's pretty standard because he wants to punch through the pardon me, wants to punch through the skin wolves and through the trolls with like just better damage. Ruglets is totally standard, and it seems to be just a goblin tide with some small orc support. So let's see what happens here. So we also see Grom, which is a good pick because he can actually just go through most of the lines from the Norscan side, and if he's not caught in skin wolves, then he should be just fine. Though a Night Goblin Warboss is also pretty good, just because he can rampage stuff like Wulfric, like the caster, and by that we also see the first summon, which is the caster, which is a Shaman of Fire, with just Scroll of Power. Oh, that's pretty cool. So he just overcasts a Burning Head. He has enough WOM to overcast a Burning Head, and then just pops Scroll of Power and overcasts it again. Nobody's contesting the top objective, just Norsca getting the objective and then moving back forward to the frontline engagement. While Ruglets are just amazing in all matchups. Like, this is probably the best ROR archer in the game. 160 armor, 160 range, and 6 armor piercing on like a 750 unit is insane. They just do so much damage here. We should also be very careful about seeing where the casts from the boat are being cast and the burning heads. So yeah, let's check it out. Seems like Alrik is kind of moving forward and just leaving his spearmen to the top side to defend from the incursion. Some ice wolves, they're probably just gonna posture a bit. Snotling pump wagons, these guys are just awesome, especially if they charge kind of downhill, because this map has some elevation here. If the engagement is on the bottom side and these guys just go in, they can pretty much delete the infantry core from Norsca here. But yeah, let's just be on the lookout for boats, because technically Wulfric is posturing to throw something like a boat out. But for right now, it is just pretty awkward for him, because if he throws out the boat can't be that easily dodged, but it's still possible to dodge it. Especially if you just see like one unit right there standing, like posturing that they're gonna do something about it. Same with the Shaman Sorcerer of Fire. Him standing to the front is basically a huge telegraph that you actually want to do a burning head on the lines, but he knows that these lines are would kind of be difficult to burning head right now, and not on the engagement, because when they engage they're going to be static, right? And the opponent is not going to have enough both micro time, it's like a huge micro tax, to be looking at like 20 units or 25 units in Martinius's case, and also be on the lookout for like stuff like Burning Head to dodge, which is again very high skill, very tough to do. Oh, there we have a boat. It just goes through one orc boy, not even hitting the other one. So not great, not terrible, as they usually say. Same thing from Grom. He's kind of posturing here to potentially go into the line here, but then he sees the Skin Wolves, and this is just not doing anything. So let's actually fast forward a bit until both armies build up enough to actually go and engage, because this seems to be like the ultima build up game. Yeah, Alrik is just chilling, waiting for the critical mass of Skin Wolves to overwhelm. We see a burning head just going down the pipe, and here is finally the engagement. This one was much better, because it went through the Orc Boy, through a different Orc Boy into a Goblin, and none of it was dodged from Martinius' side. So, Martin kind of has Grom relatively awkward here, and he should either charge or retreat. I would say retreat probably is better, just because he's very close to these Skin Wolves, and if they decide, and these Skin Wolves too, and if they decide to attack Grom, Grom is going to have a pretty bad time, and there they go, basically. So, but Grom had a very fortunate animation to go through back, through back of the Bearman, but is now going to get surrounded here. Yeah, he's going to get clapped by the Wolves. From frontline engagement going relatively well for Alrik. He just sent in the Trolls and the Skin Wolves, and there's not much in here to contest them. The Savage Orc Boar Boys are pretty good, but they're good against armor, and these guys have 60 armor. These guys are pretty much unarmored, so they're not going to do anything. Again, this was a beautiful burning head right here. It went through basically the entire back line, as well as some of the retreating units that were there, and basically ended the career. And here comes the second one with the Scroll of Power. Scroll of Power into a second burning head through the Goblin Archers. Oof, that really hurts. Basically now the entire supporting pieces of the backline army is basically collapsed, and Martin has totally collapsed the front. Not the front, the top side of the objectives. Plus, he now has a triple cap with taking the middle objective on the push as well, and taking the top objective, so he is no longer in any rush to just fight, and he can just continue summoning in Skin Wolves and other type of mobility. And yeah, Martin actually taps out here. So actually, inside of this series, Martin basically forfeited after this showing. So yeah, we aren't going to have a game 2, sadly, but this was a great showing from Alrik, beating Martin in a straight up build up and chill game. Not much happening. And yeah, the sorcerer getting 1.1k is great with the 3 burning heads that he basically cast. What did Alrik have left? Yeah, he basically summoned all of his Skin Wolves. These were the ones that are coming in the latest. He had a couple more Ice Wolves. And the Riders of Mighty Serpent are also super good in this matchup, because they have fear, and they give fear to everything on the entire roster. So if you just have like Bearmen fighting something, then they just get fear from the Riders of the Mighty Serpent. Grom just got surrounded. Even though he got out, he didn't do much. All the Orc Boys relatively did fine, but it just wasn't their day. Same for the Goblin Archers. They just got folded by the Burning Heads. And this was just too much of a chaff army from Martin to be able to win in a build-up game. Like, if Martin had a bunch of trolls himself here, and a bunch of like Bacon Cav and a couple of more Bacon Cav that are anti-large, that can actually contest stuff when fighting, this would have probably gone much, much better for him. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the game, and see you in the next one. Peace.